how to pray constantly. You know, we hear those verses, pray without ceasing. How in the world do we do that? Right? I can't pray without ceasing. I can't pray every day, all the time. I never get anything done. I'm always praying. So when we look at what God means when he puts that in the word, we have to understand what prayer is, what it means. Amen. It's a relationship. It's a bond. It's a oneness with him. And we know that, but how do we utilize it? Well, I want you to think about something. When we utilize power, when we're given power and we use that power, we get things done, right? Amen. But when we don't use the power, things don't get done. Okay, simple as that. So when we think about electricity, like we got these lights on in here, we got, power coming into the building. In order to get that power into the building, there's a lot that has to happen outside of the building, right? So we here in Georgia, we have Georgia Power, right? Now with Georgia Power, you got a bunch of different types of power plants, okay? Now you have your water plant or your hydro plant, and that generates power based upon water. Water flows through and does some stuff in the building, and you see power come out of that building and big wires and gets to your house. Then you have coal plants that they, getting rid of, but that burns coal, gets that power come your way. We got the nuclear plant. Got all these plants that are happening to generate power to come into your house. Now, if we spend so much time trying to figure out how power is generated outside, we don't spend a lot of time understanding how we can use the power inside. So a lot of people trying to figure out what God does and what he means for you, what he means for you. We forget that he gave us power to use for ourselves. He generating power for you to use, not to try to understand and figure him out all the time. Because do y'all know how a power plant works? Me either. And I've been to several. If the apocalypse happened and it's just us and they say, hey, you know what? The whole city could get power. All you got to do is go to that power plant, turn it on. It worked, but it ain't going to work with me because I don't know what to do. You see what I'm saying? So we have to make sure we understand how we use it in our lives. So last week we talked about making sure that when we present our things to God, that it's a way of inviting him into our situation, inviting his presence into our life. So when you go to him and you say, God, I have this issue, I got this problem, I got this going on, you're inviting him into the situation so he can handle it. Now, you're not inviting him in just so you can explain how you're going to fix it. You're inviting him in because you got the problem, but he has the answer. So when we look at that, how do you invite him in? Well, of course, he stands at the door and knocks, right? He comes into our house, but we quarantine him off a lot of times, right? We don't like to show our whole house. I'm old school, right? You come to my house and, I know you, but I don't know you, right? And you got a kid. And I said, okay, let me go up and get my shoes. I'll be right back. I go upstairs, get my shoes, look back, your kid right there in my bedroom. You and your kid. Oh, this nice bedroom. I mean, who invited you? I said, I'm coming back. Why you following me throughout my whole house? Y'all been in that situation, right? I'm walking through the house and he just be like, forget it, man. They just follow me through my whole house. Let me find something for y'all to do. Hey, y'all, look at that. I'll be right back. Come back. Oh, I didn't even see this part of the house. Man, why are you in my house like this, right? Ain't nobody tell you to follow me through my house. But people do that. But I didn't invite you to this part. I invited you to this part, right? God is respectful of your house. He's only going to come in to where he's invited. But we like to invite him into the family room where everybody comes, where everybody can see. But we don't want to invite him to the back because it ain't clean yet. See, I can clean the family room. How you clean the family room? By throwing everything in the bedroom, in the guest room, and everywhere else. We just throw it, right? Oh, it's clean in here. The house ain't clean, but this area where everybody gonna be clean. And then you see somebody go to that door, you make sure. This is how you know when somebody's house ain't quite right. You go down the hallway when somebody asks for the bathroom, and you see a couple of doors. When they walk you all the way to the bathroom, this door. This door. Don't go in that door or that door, right? And they say door. Don't go in them doors. This door. And you know when you walk out that bathroom, I wonder what's in that door. And you open. They nasty. I knew they were nasty, right? That's how people do your house. But we try to hide our mess. We want people to see what we want them to see. That's how we live. But God says he wants access to all areas of your life. Let's go to Thessalonians. Thessalonians 5. 1 Thessalonians 5. And we're going to read 16 and 17. In 1 Thessalonians 5, verses 16 and 17, it says, rejoice always, always, right? Pray continually. Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. So you got to rejoice, that's first, always, pray continually, and give thanks in all circumstances. Well, praying through all circumstances, you have to make sure joy is a part of the process. Why? Because anytime you have God in your life, there should be a sense of joy because you have a sense of action that is coming with it. It's a sense of relief. It's a sense of I'm trying to do this myself, but I can't. So when you invite him in, there's a sense of joy of his presence just being there. You know, when you got things going on in your life and you by yourself and you don't know who else to turn to, and all of a sudden a knock on the door and it's your mama or it's your daddy or it's your best friend, and you just fall into their arms like, oh, you are here. Because now you got your support system there. That's joy. Did the problem go away? No, not yet. But you feel so much better about it because you got somebody there who may have the answer. But when you got God in your life, you got somebody there who does have the answer. I think I'm getting some sound in my microphone from the fan. So we know that that uneasy feeling goes away because God is there. So we should have joy, but then we pray without stopping. How do we do that? Well, in Revelations 3 and 20, let's go there. Revelations 3 and 20. He says, and starting at verse 19, let's start there. He says, those whom I love, I rebuke and discipline. So be earnest and repent. Here I am, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in and eat with that person and they with me. Okay, so we know this verse. We know it very well. But you know what I started to look at? We good about letting God in because we saved. So we say, okay, and this verse does speak to that, okay? But at the same time, there are other parts of our life that we have not yet let God into. See, when you got power, when the power company is running power to your house, you'll notice that you don't have just one switch for all lights, right? You don't just hit a switch and every light in your house comes on. Every bedroom, every closet, every bathroom, crawl space, wherever it is that you need light has its own switch. Now, there are wires running through your house that's carrying power from one source, but it's carrying that power to each individual room because each room is independent. Now, the main room, the biggest room, the living room, the family room, usually has the biggest light, right? And that's the one we flip on. Boom, look at my house. Look at how good I am. Look at how I got it all together. Look, this is nice. Oh, you got a nice house. But we quarantine off the upstairs, the basement, crawl space, right? Because the thing is, we take pride in, we clean up our own stuff, right? Clean up my own house. I don't need nobody help. Okay, when somebody come and they help you clean up your house, hey, I'm gonna come over there and help you clean up. I know you're not feeling well. You still ain't gonna let them clean up everything because they gonna find out too much about you. right? If they clean up, you find out a lot about a person when you clean up, okay? I can only imagine somebody ain't here with us no more and you go to their house, have to clean up, and they done left some stuff behind. You start finding some secrets you didn't know. Granddaddy, what was you into, right? What's in this box? Unlock the key and you done unlocked some secrets that you keep hidden. But we do the same thing with God. See, here's the thing. Nobody really knows the whole you. You are good at quarantining off your life to everybody, not just strangers, but to everybody. Your husband only know what you want him to know. Your wife only know what you want them to know. There are parts of your life that your friends know that your wife don't know. There are parts of your life that your wife know that your mama don't know. There are parts of your life that your mama know that nobody knows. You section stuff off. You got good at it. But so good that we do the same thing with God. And we think he don't know because we can keep you quarantined. We can keep you in this area, God. And it's very easy to do. Just look at our prayers. We'll pray for a little bit when we know the answer is a lot deeper. But the answer requires us to reveal some things about ourselves that we don't want to say out loud because it pains us too much. It's hard to let that stuff come out. But Jesus says he needs access to everything. So when we try to clean ourselves, okay, we try to clean ourselves. Y'all know how y'all clean up? And you clean up real good, right? You ain't just doing that wipe down, where you ain't moving and you just kind of going in. Not that one. We ain't talking about the just pick it up and put it over here. We talking about a good cleanup. And you ever notice at the end of that cleanup, in every room, you have a pile of just stuff. And that stuff take the longest to go through because it's a bunch of little stuff that you don't want to just throw away, but it's just like this stuff don't have no home. This is a spool of thread. This is that. This is this. And I don't use it that often, but I don't want to throw it away. And it's just a bunch of extra stuff just sitting on the table. We just, it look good in here. We just grab that stuff and we put it in a drawer. Right? Then the drawer gets so thick you can't even open the drawer no more because it's just full of stuff, right? It just got notepads and their pens and you can't even get to it. So then you take the drawer, you dump it in a box. Now the drawer clean. Then you take this drawer, you dump it in that box. Look how clean the drawer is. The stuff didn't go nowhere. It's still in the house. It's just in a box. Then you take the box, you put it in the closet. And then over years you build up to now you got boxes of stuff that now your kid's gone or you got an extra room, so now the boxes take up the room, but you don't want to go through the stuff because it just takes too much time to sit there and sort through all this stuff. So now you got a whole room full of stuff that you really don't want, but don't want to throw away. And then you spend so much time walking around the stuff, right? You got so much stuff in your house that you walking around that one day you open the bag and realize, oh, this is a bag of trash. I've been walking around trash. I didn't know it was trash. I thought it was stuff I wanted, but it's just garbage. I've been walking and making ways around garbage, but the garbage looked like the rest of the stuff, so I couldn't tell if it was this bag or that bag. And it's just a bunch of stuff that done took up a whole room in my house. But I don't let nobody go in that room. In fact, I don't even like going in that room because every time I go in that room, it reminds me that I need to do something. And I don't want to do it. I just rather turn out the light, close the door, and walk over here. And guess what? Don't nobody else go in that room either. You better not go in that room. In fact, I'm going to lock this door from the inside and put that little Allen wrench key up here where I know how to get into the room. Don't nobody else work that lock. And we going to leave this door closed. And that door stay closed for a long time. My Aunt Karen May had a house that we used to go to all the time. It looked like a castle, old looking house. And they had some steps that went upstairs. And then on these steps was so much, I don't even know if you could walk up the steps. It was bottles of stuff and stuff on the steps, like a bottle of bleach that was just a bottle. I don't think no bleach was in it. A box of dishwash powder. I always wonder what is in that room up there. Nobody else in there. Don't go in that room. Now I think that room was dangerous, but we didn't go in that room. You just knew not to go up them steps and go up that room, but it was just the junkiest. The rest of the house was clean, except for them steps leading up to whatever was in that room. I don't know if it was a body in there or what, but they did not let you go in that room ever. Like, don't go up there. I'm like, oh, okay. I don't want to go. The house was already scary. It didn't have no lights like we have. Yeah, it was the old school, you pull the light switch. If somebody in there to get you, they still hiding because you ain't got enough. They just light up where you at. Like, what kind of light is this? It's still dark in them corners. I need flashlight to walk through the house. But that was a different feeling. Now, when we talk about your stuff, there's stuff that you just like to hide. And we as Christians say, well, God is in my life. And we think when he stood at the door and knocked, we let him in. But we just say, Jesus, you just sit in the living room. You stay here. I go back and I will bring you the things you need to fix in my life one at a time. But I don't want you to walk into the room because it's too messy. It's too junky. But you can help me fold these clothes. But you can't walk in my closet where I keep the clothes because it's a little too dirty. But see, Jesus is a different type of God. He'll follow you, and when you close that door behind you, he knock. So we look at him as coming in the front entrance, but Jesus knocks on each door in your house. It's on you whether you let him in or not. Now, here's the thing. Jesus wants so much to see the different parts of your house because he wants to see the bathroom floor that you cry on when you done lost hope. He wants to see the bed that you curl up in because you scared to get up in the morning and get out there and get done with your life. He want to see that section of your house that you sit in there and you wipe tears out of your eyes because nobody can see you. And when they say, you all right? Yeah, I'm fine. He want to go in that room too. He want to see all this stuff. He get tired of you just revealing a little bit. He said, I can fix this, right? Instead of patching you up. Because see, when we just do that surface clean, you notice how quick your house get back dirty? Right? You do that wipe down and that, okay, it look good. But as soon as people leave and the kids start back moving, it look right back dirty. But when you clean, right? When you wipe it down, it take it a minute to get back dirty. You know what I mean? So we have to make sure we allow him to be the constant cleaner in our house. But we have to let him into places that maybe we don't want to. So when we do that, go to Philippians 4. Philippians 4. Philippians 4, we're going to read 6 through 7. Philippians 4, 6 through 7. Now, this says, do not be anxious about anything, but in what? Every situation by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your request to God. See, we'll read that, but let's break it down. Don't even worry about it. I know you don't want to open that door. Don't worry about it. I got you, okay? Because in every situation, no matter what's in there, no matter what you hiding, no matter what secrets you're trying to keep from yourself, in every situation, you've asked me to do it through prayer and through petition. You've asked me, so don't be anxious. Before you even open the door, be thankful that everything back here about to get cleaned up. Go on and be thankful in the hallway. Go on and be thankful when you put your hand on the door. That whatever's in that room is about to finally get cleaned up. You're about to have one of them home makeover shows, right? You're about to have one of them where you come in, oh my God, how did y'all do this? It's like, and what's crazy about people's home when I see the decorations, right? Sometimes it is immaculate, but sometimes you be like, all they did was clean up and paint the wall. They really didn't do much, lady. You just dirty. That's all that is. You need to clean up, man. And I tell agent, I look at them, I say, by the time they leave, it's going to be right back like it was. It's just going to be gray instead of blue. That's the only thing, because you saw all that junk in there. They moved stuff out the wall, and she like, oh, my goodness, look, it's so open. Like, I know. It was dirty, and you had big old furniture. It's the way that we have to think about it. But we have to look, and we can't be anxious about it. We have to look and know that we can apply this verse not to the future, but to the present. We think about, okay, I can't be anxious about tomorrow. No, don't be anxious about what you got going on right now that God can't fix it. It's so much going on in your life. You're like, oh, I know it'll never get fixed. I just have to be broken. No, you don't. You don't have to be broken, lost, hurt. You don't have to just take this and be like, well, this is just the lot I have. This is just the way I was. This is just the way I was born. No, because we was all born into different situations. And just because you was born here versus there don't mean that you can't achieve and can't get things. God has used many a man that did not look like he could be used. Jesus himself was a man that did not look like he could be used. Ultimate example. So we have to make sure that he can use us. So when it says pray without ceasing, it's really a bond and it's a relationship. It's a constant relationship. What it means is he can follow you everywhere you go. Because when you pray without ceasing, if you notice, when somebody's with you, and I've been with you all day and we going through different places and doing different stuff, you never have to restart the conversation. You just continue the conversation. So if I was talking to you and you was telling me about the time you went and had a good time at such and such house, right? And then you telling me about a story of this conversation that you had with somebody else, and then something happens. Something happens and it break our communication. We see something over here or somebody come and they start talking to us. 30 minutes could go by. And then me and you get back on our stroll and you say, but yeah, that's how we start that conversation. But yeah, so she said, and I pick right back up where you left off because I know, okay, yeah, we still talking about, we picking up where we left off. It's a constant bond. We were here, we was in the same conversation, something broke it, we pick it right back up with a but yeah. Happens all the time, right? But then you have people, at least I have people in my life that are in the conversation, say bye, hang up, boom. We go through, I see them the next day. But yeah, and I'm like, what? Yeah, what? I just saw you. So what she told me this, and in my mind, I'm like, what in the world are we talking about? So then about 10 minutes in, I'm like, oh, they back at the party talking about this. Now I'm with you. Because we have to reintroduce the situation. But remember when I was telling you about this, and you got to put, that's how we do our relationship with God a lot of times, because we constantly breaking it. We constantly pray to him in the prayer, because when we say amen, okay, God, you can go do what you're going to do. I'm going to go do what I'm going to do. And then I can pick back up with you later when I pray. But see, when you having a constant relationship, it's without ceasing. He doesn't have to be talking all the time, neither do you. But by being there, you can just pick up because you're here. And I'm not going to ignore you. I'm not going to pretend like you're not here. I'm going to keep you throughout every facet of my life so I can just say, yeah, God, so that's what I was talking about right there. You see it because you hear this, what I was praying about last night, this is exactly what I was talking about. And he like, I see. But when you got to go through it by yourself and you working on it by yourself, then you got to go try to, okay, God, it happened again. He was there. You just didn't acknowledge his presence. But when you without ceasing, you always like, God, you right here. Fix this, please. You see what I'm talking about? This is exactly what I'm going through. And you here with me to witness it. So let's fix it now instead of me trying to wait, take it with me while I go back home, get back home, wait for my prayer time, bow before you again, bring it up and see what happens. I'm without ceasing with mine. So you always here. So as I go through right now, each room in my house, I'm flipping switches. I'm bringing you into every situation. Because when you flip the switch, it shows brightness to every corner of the room. And everything is revealed. And when you turn on the light, he said, thank you for inviting me. Let's get to work. Grab this box. Let's clean this up together. What's in this? What is this? Why are you keeping all this stuff? Throw this in the trash. You don't need this. But we try so hard to do it ourselves. We try to hide stuff without cleaning it up ourselves. And it just causes a bigger and bigger and bigger mess. It just bound to happen because you can't do it. You can't unpack them boxes. There's too much in there. It looks small, but by the time you add it up, it's a whole room full of stuff. It takes a long time to go through that. And he fixes it in a flash. So let's look at Galatians 5:25. I want you to go there. You know we talked about how you can quarantine yourself off. But it says, since we live by the Spirit, let us keep in step with the Spirit. Well, in order to keep in step, that means you have to be in motion. But it also means that the Spirit has to be with you. So it means that our prayer life isn't just limited to the times we spend bowing down before God. The time we spend getting on our knees and folding our hands and introducing ourselves. But it continues once you get up and you keep moving throughout life. And we have to do it the right way. So it's a constant bond. And he said, pray for your daily bread. What is our daily bread? The essential things you need in order to make it through each and every day, in each and every situation, in each and every way. And if we do that, we get the power that comes from the relationship. So it's not necessarily the power of the prayer, it's the power of the relationship. And prayer is the conduit that gets you tied into the power. Okay? So constant prayer is having a constant bond or a constant power that comes from God. No anxiousness, about just being connected. See, there are certain people in life that you probably come across, or you've seen movies where, you got gangsters or whoever, right? And this is just, bear with me here. You got these gangsters, and the gangster himself doesn't scare everybody. He may be the son of a gangster. And he ain't nobody to be scared of. He puny. He ain't even made like that. But he connected. So everybody know, don't mess with him. Now, in your mind, you're like, I could beat him up. He ain't nothing. He doesn't hurt nobody. He don't do nothing to nobody. But he connected. So you don't want to mess with him because it ain't him you need to be worried about. It's the other people he connected to. So when you connected and your bond is strong and everybody knows you connected, the devil be like, nah, I ain't gonna mess with him. People get a sense of, he don't look threatening, but I don't think we need to be messing with him, right? Situations in your life won't even present themselves the same because you are connected. And that's what it means to have that constant bond with Christ, to be connected in him. Just like those power lines are feeding you, the power is constantly coming in. You just can stop it and start it with that switch. You can cut it off, do your dirt, turn it back on, everything clean. And you think, okay, I ain't going to invite God in this room, I'll cut this light off. We need to start flipping switches. See, as much as we can flip the switch in our lives, we can turn on and invite God into the room and stay connected. But when we turn it off, God's power never stops. It still flows. We just control it differently. We got some dimmer switches going on too. We like to get them in a little bit and then turn it up when we feel like it, right? Oh yeah, God's in there. We pray a little bit about this situation, but we ain't going to make it bright in here. We're going to keep it low, right? See, the lower you can maintain, you can still see a little bit, but everything looks okay. Y'all remember going to the club, right? Clubs are dark. The club look good, and the people in it look good, because them lights low, right? But when them lights come on, you look at the floor, that'd be about the nastiest place you ever want to see, right? You look at the area, like, they play dirty. Then you look at the whoa, I didn't know you look like that. These lights done fooled me, right? Because y'all know how it work in the club. You can meet some people that look nice till the real sunshine come on. And you like, you don't look like I thought you looked. Strobe light didn't do you justice. I was catching hints every time it strobed on you, but this ain't cute. Lights make a difference. We know that, right? Now, there's somebody for everybody. We know that, but, it is what it is. So when we think about it, we section God off. We turn out the lights. We turn them on a little bit. What does this tell us? We have a lot of control. That's what I want you to understand. You have a lot of control of what goes on in your life. You just do. And God wants it that way, because he ain't going to force himself into your house. He wants you to control it. Because when you let him in, you have to mean to let him in. You got to want to let him in based on your relationship. There are certain people that can come in your house, that can go in your refrigerator, and you won't even care. Right? You go and get you something. Why are you asking me? Can I get some water? Why are you asking me? Go on and get you some water. But if a man came over to your house selling magazines and he said, yeah, so you can just buy these magazines, and he get up from your table and walk in there and get him a glass of water. What in the world who is this? I just met you. You walking through my house. I just wanted some water. Well, them ain't the cups that I use for strangers, right? You done, this man, you get the warm bottled water. That's how we treat people differently. Jesus want to be at the ultimate. He want to be able to freely go throughout your house because he's family, and we have to treat him as such. So what does that do? It means we have to flip the switch. Each room in your house, you got family issues, flip the switch and watch God work it out. You got problems with your marriage, flip the switch and watch it become healthy. Them kids ain't acting quite right, flip the switch and watch stuff start to blossom in their life because you turning Jesus on them. You ain't trying to, okay, here we go again. Let me talk to the teacher. Let me talk to you. Let me offer you some words. Let me tell you what you need to do. Flip the switch on them. You flip the switch on them, you'd be surprised at what God can do more than what all your words can do for them. Baby, we need to talk. Flip the switch and let God have a piece of the conversation. But all this conversation ain't getting us nowhere. But when I shine some light on it, instead of me trying to hide it from everybody and look how great we are out here in the world, but as soon as we get home, we go our separate ways and we don't talk. The most we say is, you want something to eat? What kind of relationship is that? Flip the switch on it. Let God tell you what to do and how you need to work. But we so comfortable keeping it in dark because as long as people say it's okay, it must be okay. As long as people think it's good, it must be good. But when we flip the switch, God makes what's been pretending to be good very, very good. So we have to make sure that we pay attention to him. Go to Philippians 3. Philippians 3 and 12. Philippians 3 and 12. Let me bring that one up. And I lost it. Philippians 3 and 12. Bring that one up for me, Adrian, because I lost it on my Bible here. Go to Philippians 3 and 12. See it? All right, Philippians, thank you. And I added this one late, so I apologize. Not that I have already obtained, but am already perfect, but I press on to make it my own because Jesus has made me his own. So what is this telling me? Paul is saying, not because I think I'm perfect, right? Not because I'm already attained or I'm already perfect, but I am perfect in Christ because I press on to make it my own. I press on in him to perfect myself. See, the reason why that verse is important because we chase perfection. That's just what we do. Amen. We got to be perfect. He says you already perfect. If I'm in you, you perfect. So don't worry about all the stuff you got going on. You're perfect in me. All you have to do is live in me and abide in me, and I will perfect things in your life. I will make things happen in your life to where you can do exactly what you need to do. But you're perfect in my sight. Because I've washed you, I've cleaned you. But now let's just get rid of this stuff. Let's get you right. Let's get you happy. That's what Jesus wants to do. Not perfect. We ain't worried about what the world thinks you are. We want the core of you to be in a good place. And the only way we can do that is if you invite me in. So here's the thing, people. As we wrap this up, I want you to understand. You have to fully embrace God. And it's your turn. He's already there and he's knocking on each door. He's ready for you to be a part of him. It is time for your future tense to become a present tense. What does that mean? All your issues right now have to start the process of becoming past issues. That box, that room, that dirty room, what do we always say? I'll get to it. But we easily add stuff to the room. It's been situations where box too heavy, I got to slide it into the room and ease it in there and get the door closed because there's too much junk in that room, right? Just is what it is. My dad keeps a lot of stuff. And when he organized, man, he organized. I don't know if y'all ever been to the basement of the church, but there was a lot of stuff in that basement. He would tell me, hey, go in there and get such and such. Man, I'm not finding anything in here. I got to crawl under, over, around. And guess what? All the stuff was good stuff. It was worse. I mean, it wasn't trash, but it wasn't organized. And when he went through and organized it, it took some time. But he was always saying, I get to it. I got to organize. But he's so busy. And then he got time and he finally did it. But we like to say stuff in the future because we have good intentions. And we're not telling stories, right? We're not making stuff up. Y'all see, I say telling stories. That's just how my mama raised me, right? Couldn't say lie in the house. Just, you say tell a story. Here I am, 40-something years old, telling stories. But it is what it is because my mama here. But we're not just making stuff up. We serious about it. Because here's the thing. Here's what I want you to know. You don't leave with anything else, leave with this. He's already done it. He's living in a past tense. Now, he's still alive, but here's what he's done. He paid the price. He gave his son. He already loved you. He's already done it. He's already made the way. He's already done the things that you need him to do. But you're living in a place where you haven't accepted all that yet. So it's time to make your present tense issues past tense issues and to make your future tense solutions your present tense solutions. So until you figured out that he's already provided a way, that he's already done everything he needs to do, and all you have to do is accept it, then you can start living your future self. Because your future self is waiting on you. You just got to go get it. Time gonna pass. You're going to get older. You might as well make the best of the time that you have right now. Not, I'm going to get to it one day. I'll do it one day. But all your current issues in life got future state solutions. You just got to open the door and turn on the switch and get to it. So the solution is now. The solution is right now. So you can't sit here and say that you don't have the answer because you do. So you have to turn your current situation into a future testimony. Your current situation needs to be a future testimony. But you determine on how far in the future that is. So we got to stop corralling stuff and cleaning up for the world and start letting it be dirty for Jesus. Because you've been pushing that burden around way too long. You've been trying to fix it for way too long and it ain't got no better. And everybody look at it and say, it look good. You look fine. And you do. Because you do a good job of cleaning yourself up. You put a lot of coverings on it to make it look okay. But you ain't handled the issue. You ain't done what needs to be done. See, some of us got skin problems. But you can cover it up. And then you go to the dermatologist and they say, we can fix this. Quit covering it up. That's making it worse. But you're trying to cover up for the world instead of going to the doctor and getting it looked at. Because what the doctor do when they look at something? You ever notice when you go to the doctor, the first thing they do is put you under a bright light. They see everything. 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 Because there's been times where I've been sitting there under the bright light and look over at the camera that they looking at on the screen. I said, ooh, don't want to see myself looking like that. That's a little too deep. I don't even like that picture. And we're not going to like it. But I know when they get through, I sure like the way it looks now. Amen. But you have to go through and get that news that you can be fixed. But we have to go through our life and say, hey, Jesus, look in this room. See, I don't know what I was thinking. I know it's messed up, but come on in. I got some more to show. Oh, that's just, look over here. Look over here. We have to take him through our house and let him fix us. Yes. Because we are broken. Yes. Everybody. Ain't none of us got it all figured out. There are sections in your house where the floor is rotten, where walls falling apart, but nobody ever know because you've sectioned it off. But until you let him in, he's a carpenter, he's a fixer, he puts down carpet, he put up curtains, he decorate, he got a dumpster, he'll dump all the trash out. You trying to carry all this stuff carload by carload and you ain't getting but this much. He got a dump truck, he'll bag it up there, dump all this stuff and get it out of there. Now you got a clean slate and you and him can decorate, beautify, and guess what starts to happen? Now that he been in every room, now you don't mind sharing it with other people. You ever notice the only time people give you a tour of their house is when they first buy it? Go to somebody's house who's been there a few years. Give me a tour of the house. Okay. Why you want to see but when I first get there, this is a beautiful home. Give me the tour. Oh, I got to give you come on, look at this. Yeah, I don't know. This is just I love this because I'm going to sit here and I'm just going, oh, we going to use this. Oh, come over here and look at this. This is going to be the kids' room. This is nice. It's so open and so fresh, so nice. It is, ain't it? I love it. Go back 2 years from now. Hey, you know what? I'm about to buy a house. Can I go see your rooms? No, I don't want to show you that. And you always know, let your kids go play with their kids. Your kids get to see their room. They out dirty. Kids tell the truth. You know, they see some stuff. And that little kid come following you around. And you look, man, what this kid doing here? And the kid, your house dirty. Get down there with your mom. I'm coming up here looking at my stuff. Oh, kid that made you mad because she done told you the truth. But when you get back to the part where Jesus clean up, you let people see it. Look at my marriage. Look at my kid. Look at this. Look at that. Look at it. You can't move fast enough bragging on the Lord because of your decorator has come in and cleaned house. But until you flip them switches on and invite him in, it's going to stay junky. It's going to stay dirty. And you're going to keep tripping over trash. You're going to keep looking at stuff, shaking your head. And you're going to keep saying, I'm going to get to it one day. And one day never get here. The only thing is it just keep piling. You become a hoarder. Don't let that happen to you. Let God fix you. Let him heal your life. Let him do what he is waiting to do. So when he go to the bathroom door, let him in. When he come to the bedroom door, let him in. When he go to the crawl space, let him in. When he go to the attic, let him in. Because he got something. And don't be anxious about doing it. Be happy. Because a solution is knocking at the door.